We make it. I know. You made it.
Who needs a little extra stairs? Me. Upstairs and downstairs.
Okay, so it is officially 7 o'clock, February 13th, 2025. We'll call the meeting to order.
And I don't have a flag, don't I?
That's okay, so we will skip pledge of allegiance, we don't have a flag
This
there.
was last minute, so.
That's
my
okay.
apologies.
Roll call.
This isn't everyone down here, the kids are doing it.
Gonzalez,
Here.
Hussein,
Here.
Joes. Here. Mason, Volunteer here. Hugo. Here.
Okay. First, is there anything anyone would like to pull off the consent agenda?
I'm gonna have just a couple of questions.
Which,
Under financials.
okay. So then,
I would, if it's okay, I would just, pull them both up, the
Yeah.
consent agenda, because Jillian had a couple of minor revisions too, so you may as well just pull them both up.
yeah, so then we're just gonna approve these separately, so first I'll make a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes from January 9th, 2025. The only minor thing that I saw on the minutes was that, Jay Cook's name is members of the public, and then later it's Jay McCook, yes, it doesn't mean you saw, okay.
And I think under absent should be trustee Hussein, not trustees.
Oh, and then just,
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah, I've got that. Okay.
So should I add as amended? All those in favor of approving the minutes from January 9th, 2025 as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
So we'll open up the financial statements and then we can discuss. So I'll make a motion to approve the January 2025 financial statements.
Okay.
Alright, so, first thing that I had kind of noticed was we had no billing from St. Martha's for parking. This month, last month there were 2 invoices. Yeah.
Sometimes it's depending on when the checks are run.
Yeah.
So,
So I was just curious because I was looking to see how much they raised it for the new year.
oh, they don't change it on the new year, Lima, it's changed July 1, because they're on a July 1 through June 30th fiscal year at the Archdiocese. So, it would be the same amount as what is showing up last month, so it will go up in July.
Okay. So the invoice that we got on the 31st of December would then cover, is that why we're not seeing anything?
Yeah, so Leighton probably paid it when he got it, because usually, or, so, and we can't like post-date or predate anything, so it's when it clears when it clears in Sage, we don't have a way to change the date in Sage. We're not supposed to, so if we pay it 2 times in 1 month, but we are paying it.
Just check.
Yep.
And then, out of curiosity, I noticed that Fifth Third still has our operating, portion of our operating account. When are we going to transition?
We can't until the loan is over.
Oh, until the loan.
Yeah, that's a requirement, so when the loan is paid off, I can fully close that.
Alright.
So right now, we only keep a nominal amount in there just to cover the amount of the loan that they pull out every month.
Yeah.
Is this a minimal amount? I mean,
Like
4,000.
No, that's kind of what is in there right now. We transfer 13,000 in there every month, so,
You say you transfer in or out?
we transfer from Wintrust to Fifth Third,
Uh-huh.
13,000, because most of our money is in Wintrust, and then we
Right,
just
because
transfer,
okay,
and then we
but
just
then
transfer
this
into
is
Fifth
what-
Third.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So, but yeah, that has to stay. We are not allowed to close that account while they carry the loan, so.
Fifth Third was in the Village News, they're moving to it, and I'm like, yeah, they're transitioning, maybe they'll say, clean everything up, let us go, free and Morton Grove Public Library.
No, I've asked about it, and I'm not allowed to do that. Presumably, I don't know if that was written out in the terms of the loan, but they told me I could not close the account until the loan was paid off, so. Yeah.
Anyone else have any questions about the financial statements?
Okay, we'll vote on the January 2025 financial statements.
Yes.
Okay.
Great catches.
Next, President's report. I do have something. So, Lima has informed me and Pam that, after the April election, she intends to step down, as a trustee. So, that logistically what that means for the board is that we will then have 3 spots open, then the election will happen, and we'll have 3 trustees who will be stepping into the board. So,
Well, don't they
Wait,
still need
you
to
still
apply?
after
They don't
the
just step in,
election?
right?
So that-
well,
so-
actually, yes, that's,
So we would have the 2 elected positions, and then
And then
after
after
that,
that,
then
we
the
want
board
to
would appoint the third.
appoint the third person.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, yeah, thank you.
So actually, I was wondering if it's possible, just to, as you said, do all 3 people, so there's no extra steps involved with interviewing and all, but just 3 people that are running. I know it says vote for 2. If they could change it on the ballot.
No, that was
No,
due,
it's
those are
too
due, they were due the end of November. So we can't add anyone to the ballot at this point.
Oh,
Is that
right.
what you're saying?
Oh, I see, 'cause, yeah.
You have to file to run, and the filing date was, ended at the end of November of
So how many
2024.
candidates do we have?
4, there's 4 candidates for
Right,
2
so-
open seats.
Oh,
There are 4 candidates.
So then how do you, are you still at the end, after the election or before the election?
After.
Okay, so you're
Are you
only gonna
just-
be voting for 2.
2.
2 are gonna be elected,
Right.
and then she'll go, and then you guys will have to just find another,
What?
you have to find another
Right,
Because-
person.
Yeah, I was thinking since there's an extra candidate running, that,
It'd be an easy,
Yeah.
yeah. but
So
everybody-
technically,
there's a
the
chance
new
to
board
apply.
members need to be seated, then the board will then fill your position. So there might be a month where your
Right.
position
well, I
is
mean, I
not.
could wait.
Or you could wait, or,
I mean,
if the board chooses to appoint one of the 2 candidates that have been regularly coming to the meetings, you could choose to do that. However you want to appoint someone is up to you. That's, as long as the board agrees on that.
Right.
There's no rules, there's nothing statutory in statute that says, you have to, have applications and those kinds of things. It's whatever the board agrees on in terms of
Oh, interesting,
appointing
okay.
someone.
Right,
I
they
think
just
it's
can't
approval process.
put
Yeah,
another one of those 4 people
Right,
in her
right.
position,
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
you're only
So
voting
if
for
the
2.
board
I
felt
mean,
that, one of, like, say, Mr. I'm just gonna use him as an example for,
Right.
because he's been coming regularly, if for some reason, if he doesn't get elected and you decided that you want him, you could reach out and ask if he would be interested in serving.
okay,
as an
it could be
appointed
as simple as
position.
that.
So, but it's up to, it would be up to the board to decide how they want to move forward with that once the election is complete.
And we have the 2
The 2 elected
winners, the 2
ones.
elected ones, and
Which we
have
would,
to-
the election is April 1st, so we don't actually officially seat them until the elections have been certified, so they probably won't be seated until the May board meeting, just because of the timing of when we usually get the certification, just depends on how quickly the county gets it to us.
That's fine. I mean, as far as, I don't have any big rush plans or anything.
Right.
But that was, that's news for the board, so I wanted to let everyone know about that. And as I shared with Lima, that I know that, as with everything that she seems to do, I know that she must have given this a lot of thought and careful consideration. And we will miss your thoughtfulness and your eloquence and
Your point of view.
Yeah, and, we'll have 2 very trusted voices, that will soon be missing, so, but,
We didn't tell you this was a lifetime appointment.
Right.
We're not really letting you leave.
yeah.
No, it's been a pleasure, and I've gotten so much out of this experience of the different people I've met and understanding what the processes are and how much it takes in terms of commitment to run an effective library for the community, so it's been great. It's not an easy, it's something I've been thinking about for like a year, and then I had a birthday and I decided, yeah, I'd have to there's like health issues and stuff, so, yeah.
Well, and you don't have to elaborate because your reasons are your own, but I know that you made it with great care and thoughtfulness as you always seem to portray with everything that you share with us, so, and you'll be missed. And we appreciate everything, all of your service and all of your dedication to the library.
Thanks.
All right, so committee reports. We covered finance. Facilities, we're gonna kind of talk about with, under unfinished business. Policy, I don't believe you guys have met, maybe perhaps March.
Probably in March.
It's like mid-March.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
say March 10th, but I know that's wrong.
Yeah, okay. I'll
It's
double
like
check.
Tuesday at 10 a.m.
Okay, all right, good deal. All right, so it brings up to staff reports. Well, there's been some movement, if you guys have hired some new people. Anything you'd like to highlight or add?
Just pointing out, so I started to have Leighton do a monthly report too,
Yeah, which is
particularly
great.
given, that he's taking on some different types of responsibilities for me and doing some different things, so I thought that was worthwhile as well. You probably have noticed that the statistical reporting is a little bit different, but that those were redone, as I think I've mentioned a couple of times, in order to be compliant to digital accessibility compliance. If the Department of Education is abolished, I don't know what will happen because that that Title II rule falls under the Department of Education Civil Rights Office. So, but anytime you try to make something more compliant in terms of ADA or any type of accessibility, it makes it more accessible for everyone. So I just want to point those out. Yeah, I don't think I had anything kind of out of the ordinary. Like I said, we've hired a couple new people.
Great silver lining for us that Leighton is the IT liaison for OSG.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it worked out okay before, but it's nice kind of having one point person and have that not be me, because a lot of times I'm either not in the building or I'm doing other things and it's difficult for me to run down and, upgrade all the windows,
Especially,
the
just
computers and stuff
upgrading
like
all
that.
those.
So,
That's nice.
and he's got that expertise. He was in IT before he was in libraries, and so he's got a background in that, and just has been able to jump right in and do those things. So it's really been a great asset. I'm really, really happy with that hire, so.
Yeah.
And he's got a great mindset, it's all about like efficiency and reviewing the processes.
Yeah, he's all about that, and he's really into spreadsheets and stuff, so he's like creating all these spreadsheets and all these other things, so it's awesome, but yeah, it's
And
really.
he's like on social media, Facebook interface, learning about how to improve something for Paycom, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I just did his review the other day, and, I was just saying, I think it's a great hire for us. I think he's been a great asset to the library, to me in particular, and we work really well together, and so I'm really pleased with that, so it seems to be going pretty well, so. And he indicated he was very happy here, so that's all good.
Yeah.
So, a little concerned, and, especially, coming from a director role, he said he'd never want to do that again, and he has a somewhat long commute as well, but he can take the train in, which I'm extremely jealous of because of the way, where he lives and stuff, but, so he said he's really enjoying it here and is really happy, so. But I don't think I had anything other than, the usual stuff.
Yeah. I thought I was, I don't know if everyone saw with, under Melissa's report, but that Kaylin attended the Nailsworth Library Con. I thought that was so awesome we've talked about that, about like how hard it is to engage our teen, patrons, and that was.
She gets like 150 people.
Yeah, it was
just
a
talking
really
to-
awesome, like,
They wanna
yeah,
go
right.
candy.
Yeah, that's the, yeah.
The teens it's very difficult, especially once they can drive, and they do, when they're using us, they're using us for study rooms, those kinds of things. So any time that we can make those connections to let people know what we've got and what we can do for them, it's probably gonna look a little bit different, because maybe we're not gonna have big programs or that kind of thing, but we're gonna be serving them in other ways, so.
Yeah, just even passing the information, what they can do here. I think that's really huge,
Yeah.
because most teams.
And we're gonna regularly do, I know it was in the December reports, staying open later for finals and stuff. And one of the things when I've done at other libraries is that does have a tendency to grow. And we had I think we had 30 or 40 kids here those nights that we did that. We had pizza and stuff that was for finals. And so I think some of those kinds of things are really where we're gonna see more engagement from the teen population, so.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was great.
But I have to ask, what's a squishy?
Those little stuffed animals. those
Squishy,
Oh,
they like the weird,
I don't-
like microbeads or something in there that I'm sure is horrible for the
You
environment,
know,
but they're squishy.
you know, years ago it was Beanie Babies.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like this generation's like
Their version.
Beanie Baby obsessed.
Oh, like Squishmallows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They're just really puffy stuffed animals, you know, yeah.
And I did want to, the reason we're down here is because we had to reschedule a couple of passport appointments. So as you can see, we did 78 in January,
78.
and it is
That's
busy.
awesome.
And in fact, I'm gonna be meeting with Jeff and Sean to discuss staffing for that, because we are,
Need more.
yeah, I mean, it's just really, it's been such a great service, and it's making us money.
Yeah,
So-
and that's great texting me, wait, can I get a photo there? I'm like, yes,
Mhm.
do it all online, all the
So-
things that you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been really, and like I think I said in my report, I mean, really, Jeff and Sean need to be called out and praised for how
Yeah.
smoothly they handle this and how committed they are to this and how much they've really, how much thought and effort they're putting into that. So really, they've been kind of the backbone of the service, but it's been a great asset, I think, to the community, so.
Yeah.
I mean, we are regularly hearing from people, because also, you know, it's a little bit nicer to come to the library than if you're staying at the
Yes.
post office or something like that. And they're, you know, they're in the Cooper room, you can bring your kids, I mean, all these different things, so it just really works out. And they're so kind and they're very helpful, and I think, you know, especially if no one's ever had their passport or anything like that, it's I think, a much better experience for them as well. So people have been very, very appreciative, so.
Yeah. I personally, that it was just a few weeks ago where my husband was like online, and he's like, God, I gotta get a license, please. I'm like, you know you can do that at the Northern Grove Public Library. And then he came home, he's like, that was awesome. You know that Jeff guy, he's nice. I'm like, yes. Yes. So he was like, you know, wow, that was so much easier.
I know, I did my license plate sticker renewal, and I thought, it was so stupid too, because I'm like, I can do that at the library. And I'm like, you're the director, you're an idiot. Of course you don't do that. So I was all excited when I did it, yeah.
Yeah. It just, I mean, you know what, something that can save that much time out of your day, so, yeah.
And just the availability, right? I mean, that's the other thing, that
Yeah.
it's not, you're not bound by, 8 to 5, and you can't go on the weekends, those kinds of things. So I think that those two services in particular have been really great,
Yeah.
and getting more people in the door. And, one of the things that we've heard from people, particularly with passports, because they're spending a little bit more time here, is that, Jeff does a really good job of kind of chalking up the rest of the library and the different services. Or if they come if they come in with children, for example, a lot of times, one of the parents will bring the kids down here while, the other parent is getting, their stuff taken care of. And they're like, oh my God, this is awesome. So, I mean, we're really introducing what the library can do for them to, audiences that we might not have reached before.
So great. Great job, love it. All right. So, so no official news with the bathroom renovation?
Well, as soon as, the day I sent this out,
Oh, yeah.
we did get some plans. All I have is the plans. I have not yet met with Tiffany and Dan. I have an appointment, I'm gonna be meeting with them, sorry, I can't talk, on the 24th. But if people want to see these, you can. If you want to spend some time looking at them now, or you can look at them afterwards. There's our existing plan, and then they did 3 plans, they were able to keep multi-stall in the men's and the women's if we wanted to do that. But then they did also produce a plan that created 4 individual little rooms, bathroom rooms, so they would be single use. But they were able to fit 4 in there. So if you guys want to take a look at these, like I said, I can either now or if you want to pass them around or whatever. But I did get them. But no, I have no other information besides just receiving the plans. And then they did drop a couple of rudimentary designs for potential remodel of the administrative areas as well. So. And
Okay.
you guys can take a look at those if you want to. But like I said, I'm meeting with them on the 24th, and I should have more information after that.
Okay.
And then would bring it to the board, and then we could decide how we wanted to move forward. And at some point, John Shell's now would get involved, and then we could start moving forward with that process.
Okay.
No, it's-
So the top one is the existing plan, if you look at the bottom, it says
Oh,
what it is,
okay.
and then there's 4 different schemes, so.
so this is the what we have.
This is what we have currently, yeah. So the big issue when you're looking at that, I know it's difficult to see it, but when you're looking at that for each of you, the circle, that's the radius for a wheelchair, and that was really the big issue is
The ADA.
because
Oh.
currently our bathrooms are not ADA compliant, so that
That's
was,
the difference.
that was one of the things too. So some, like the first one is virtually the same, I would imagine, it's mostly finishes, reconfiguring, not reconfiguring, but shortening the length of the stalls, particularly in the women's bathroom, so that you could get a wheelchair turned around. And then I think the men's, I think they changed the location of the urinal, or flat where the sinks were in the urinal, and that kind of thing, so.
And the 4 individual stalls would also be ADA compliant
Mhm.
for each of them?
Mhm.
Okay, I didn't know if you made just one larger one and then.
No, these are all ADA compliant. I think when they're individual like that, they all would have to be, I believe.
Oh, that makes
So,
sense.
I
So this was the.
guess, just from looking at them, they go from scheme 1 being probably the most cost effective because it's basically keeping all of the current plumbing where it's at. I don't think we'd have to do any major plumbing changes because, they're keeping, even if they flip out where the toilets and the sinks are, for example, that's still where, you still need plumbing. But the first one looks like it would mostly be finishes replacement, is what I'm guessing, without having talked to them. And then the last one, which is the individual stalls, will be the most expensive. It's absolutely
Yeah.
expensive because that's individual rooms, and each of those rooms has sprinkler requirements, HVAC requirements, that kind of thing, so.
Yeah, I thought that's what we would assume too, that the individuals would be right.
Would they each need like a baby changing station?
Probably, I mean, we would want to do that just because we try to do that in all of the bathrooms, but some of it would depend on what kind of space was left over, so we'll just have to see.
We look forward to hearing
Yeah,
more.
and like that came, of course, I think late on Tuesday afternoon, so of course I couldn't
Yeah,
include it
of
in
course.
the packet, so.
Yeah. Okay, so, new business, review of closed session minutes and reporting. So as you noted, there's no action to be taken, right now. For it's February 13th and,
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
we didn't get the August, minutes, the closed session minutes have not been transcribed and written up yet for board approval. August was about the time that Suzanne was leaving and Leighton was coming on. And then November, with the holiday and stuff like that, so we'll work on getting those done. So they'll be available, for board review, and then the next closed session, review, we can make a decision about, disposition of those.
I'm gonna open this up and then we can answer any questions or ask any questions. I'm gonna make a motion to approve, the purchase of new computers for the youth services department staff in the amount of $23,445.37.
So if I wanted to discuss something.
Yeah, we're just opening up the motion so that we can discuss. All right, yes, please.
All right, so, the thought process was if we're ordering 11 as opposed to just one or two, we can get like a bulk discount. So I went online just to see what is the standard kind of price. And I saw what looks like this exact model, that keyed in this whole thing. And it was under HP, and they had it on sale for $14.99. Which, I mean, that's like a substantial difference. Instead of, almost 2,100, 13.
I don't know what the difference would be. I would imagine it's, there are some other things that they usually do to the computers when they're replacing them, in terms of licensing and that sort of thing. If the board doesn't want to approve this at this time, I can go back and ask about that, but that would be up to the board. I don't know at this point I can't speak to the discrepancy in price, so.
I mentioned it because it's significant.
Does that include the warranty?
Yeah.
Maybe the
How much
one
was the
year?
difference?
Well, the price also is $1,400 versus almost $2,100.
And that included all the, I mean, the amount of, the gigabyte storage, the touchscreen.
Yes, I compared all those individual components. The difference that I saw was where it says Gen I5 was Gen I7, which to me seems like even like the more current model.
With the same storage,
All the rest of the stuff matched up.
16 gigabytes and
Yeah.
512 gigabytes. 27-inch touchscreen. I can't, like I said, I don't know, I can't speak to that, I would have to go back to
I'm just
OSG.
putting it on the table that we should discuss and decide, is it worth to delay and go back to them and say, what's with the price?
It's 50% difference. I think it's worth
Yeah.
looking into. The difference is 14 versus 21, and if you're saying it's
Where did
the
you
same
find that?
Plus
specifications.
15. I just Googled it and it was under HP, on their website.
HP website?
Yeah. And also has an on sale. So I'm just clarifying, it is a sale price I'm saying.
It's possible that they are on sale and they weren't at the time that I received this quote. I mean, that is
But
possible as well.
I think I would, you know, it seems like we should be able to call them and say, hey, you have it on sale, what can you do for us?
Are we getting, these are HPs, but are we, you're buying directly from HP, which you're looking at, right? Yeah.
OSG doesn't mark them up for them, it's not, they make their money from the service. So they're not operating us on that. It's possible that they went on sale once these were quoted, or after these were quoted.
Yeah, President's Day. kind of
Right,
thing.
exactly. And, you know, I can certainly ask Brian what the board could choose to do if we don't want to wait, is you could choose to, and the reason I say that is because, we want to get them replaced sooner rather than later, and certainly we want to make sure that anything that we replace gets done before we get into a simply rush. So, you know, so if we postpone another month, that's March, that kind of thing.
Why
So,
would it take another month
to do what?
to find out when?
They wouldn't, but if the board doesn't approve this tonight, the board would approve it at the March meeting, is what I'm saying. And then, so, that's my own thought.
That's what we take the money.
But,
I'm gonna get creative and offer up so if we raise it with them and then we say the difference could be applied towards what they're gonna be charging us for the installation hours.
we buy in bulk for that, so that's a separate thing. What I would say if the board wants to do it this way is that you could motion to approve the purchase of computers not to exceed this dollar amount that they gave us on this quote. And then if they were able to come back and give us a cheaper price, we would still be able to move forward. You understand what I'm saying? Like tonight, you said,
So-
we approve the purchase of computers and not to exceed the amount of this higher amount that they gave us in this quote. And then if I talk to OSG and say, hey, we have found them for $600 cheaper, can you do that for us? And then it only ends up costing us $20,000, then it's still within what
So
the
it gives you
board.
room to, but, yeah, it's supposed to be approved, but.
You've approved the dollar amount, but it won't go higher than this 23,000, is what I'm saying. No, but I'm saying if, that would be one way to do it.
That it won't.
Yeah, that you're not, that we aren't necessarily gonna be assigning this quote, but we know that we're gonna purchase computers and we don't want it to exceed this original quote, $23,445 or whatever it was. That's one way that we could proceed, if we wanted to kind of keep on track, because
We can do that.
I think that makes, I mean, to your point, to keep the ball rolling, to not, do you keep delaying things by a month, you know, and want to do it done before youth service, you know, youth services busy season.
yeah, and I will find out where the price discrepancy is, if there's a sale that went into effect after I got this quote, if there's other things that are included that they just didn't list out, so I can find out what that is. And then
That'd be terrific.
I could inform the board via email, that way that here's the answer I got, and then if you know, their answer is, oh, well, you're getting this, this, and this that we just didn't spell out, or yes, we found them cheaper because now they're on sale kind of thing,
Right,
so.
right, because if you're searching up exactly what this is, then, you know, to our eyes, there's not like a specific reason about what the cost is.
Because I will say, Brian is very good. I mean, there are times, I mean, he does not, if he thinks I can get something cheaper, not through OSG, he will tell me that. He'll say, you know, order those from Amazon or order them directly from wherever, because you're gonna be able to get it cheaper, so it's not. I mean-
We're not privy to that.
Right, no, I know, so, and I, you know, I didn't go back and look, so, because I do trust them, so, so it's possible that they went on sale, but I can certainly find out, but either way, however the board wants to do that. So I'm just saying that, you know, approving the dollar amount is a way that we could continue to move things forward if you don't want to wait another month to approve the whole quote.
Okay. So how does everyone feel about approving the purchase of new computers for the youth services department, not to exceed the amount listed, with the direction that we're giving Pam to please reach out to Brian and see if there is
Sure, I'm always into shop around.
Is that?
Right, you're right, I
I'm looking
agree
at
with you.
23,000.
Yeah, no, thanks for doing the homework. Doesn't hurt to.
And you said it was on the HP site?
Yeah.
I'm over
Do you see it?
Yeah, I was just looking at it,
Oh, awesome.
$14.99.
Yeah.
But I was trying to see if it said like when the sale ends.
Is it a sale price?
It just says 45% off from $27.64.
Okay.
In stock ships on, but we don't know how many they have either.
Well, it's HP, so I assume they have.
Right, hopefully more than one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if you're getting it directly from HP, you may even get it cheaper than 14, because you're getting 11?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm just saying.
I hear you.
So if you're finishing.
But other things involved, but not computers.
Yeah, I mean,
Not to
I
exceed.
mean, I
Not
know
to
it's not
exceed
50
the amount of
computers,
Right.
but
That
still,
is-
it's more than one or two, so maybe.
yeah, over 10.
That's how I played it in my mind.
I would imagine HP does not consider 11 a lot.
I just-
500 would be one thing, I'm thinking 11, they're not gonna, like, yeah.
I was just thinking, because
It seems like a lot for us.
on my corporate campus for the company I work for, we have 600
Yeah.
employees, you know,
Yeah.
so it's more than 11.
That's why I didn't bring that up.
Say maybe it is.
Yeah.
Talk about
No,
the
the
same.
work's not so
Yeah.
expensive.
No,
But it's not nothing.
The bulk of the
You know,
expense of the devices themselves.
We can vote.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So
That's
that's a nice computer.
Yes, mine was second.
Yeah.
Okay, I was reading like President's Day sale, Clay, it says hurry, these.
That would be my
and
guess,
Sue,
is that they
like,
went on
okay,
sale
right, yeah,
after this
Sue.
quote, so I will reach back out to him
Yeah.
tomorrow and say, can you look into this again, because we found them cheaper.
Okay, we'll vote. Hussein?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Mason?
Yes.
Pelletier, yes. Ruzo?
Yes.
Gonzalez?
yes.
Thank you.
All right, so Pam included details for the per capita grant application that you recently submitted. She always do a very thorough job of, so thank you for.
And I love that she recognized it.
Yeah, she
I
did.
know
That was, I had to include that
Yeah.
because that was the nicest confirmation I have ever received from the state library when I submitted this per
She
capita
really
grant.
is.
So I was like,
I really enjoyed your application.
It's not a standard form letter.
Well, yeah, I mean,
They're like,
there's 600 and something public libraries in Illinois, and everyone, and most of us do this, right? So I think
So you
to some
were really
extent,
reading it.
you know, yeah, exactly. I was like, wow.
It's
So
one of the most comprehensive applications I have read this year, exclamation point.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a great, like,
I also, in conjunction with that, or not in conjunction, but I did, I just today submitted the IPLAR report. I didn't print them out for everyone. I brought a couple extra copies down if you want to take a look at it. This is the Illinois Public Library Annual Report. that covers our finances and perhaps all the stuff, if you wanna take a look at it as well, they're here.
That one's less fun to read.
This one is less fun to read, this
Yeah.
is,
Joanna and I always have to read this because our signatures have to go
Yeah.
on it, so, when it's always like, okay.
but if anyone wants to
Okay.
take a quick look at them, just to kind of see if you've not seen the FLAR before,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
lots
So,
of info,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a pain.
Yeah.
That one, that
It's
report
a
is, yeah.
All right, so communications, there were none this month.
Yeah, I looked at it, all you.
Public comments, it's just us still.
Could you make a change? I mean, it's the wrong number, because it's not gonna work. If you have,
Oh, is that your old home phone?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
They're not gonna call.
they're not gonna call you.
I
Okay, I'll, yeah. Yeah, it's like, it will auto-populate with some of the stuff from last year, so for the trustees, we don't have new trustees, so I didn't.
right, no, that's fine, I just didn't
Yeah,
want
yeah.
them to.
I've corrected you on my director's list, so I'm not trying to call you at
That's all.
home and stuff.
Yeah, don't call me at home, because I won't answer.
I've been trying to call Carlotta and she won't pick up the phone.
Did you see this?
Please.
All right, so that's all we have for tonight, everyone, so, it is 7:37. We'll call the meeting adjourned.